And we are live. We are back. Look, 2 weeks in a row. We are here. It's like a miracle.
It is a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a minor miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. That's right. It's we are. Well, look, first off, it is the time of giving, and this is our present to everybody. 2 weeks in a row, Walt and Steve.
Yes.
Well, welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to another non-sports night, because really, there's not a ton of sports going on right now to really talk about. You have the NFL, but we haven't really gotten into the crux of the season yet, but we'll get there. So tonight, Steve and I are going to touch on, and I'm going to kind of quantify everything a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit of politics. Of course, politics in this country has been prominent, and it's to the forefront, and probably still will be for a while. But we're going to do it in a fun way. So what Steve and I are going to do is we are going to elect our own presidents, our vice presidents, and our cabinet members. Now, in the United States, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Steve, there's 23 cabinet members.
Yep.
We're not doing all 23. We picked 10 cabinet members that we're going to pick, and we're going to use all Disney characters. Now, I am going to say this now. I did not give Steve a very good heads up. It doesn't have to just be animated, Steve.
I almost put a lot of real characters or Star Wars characters in, but I decided not to. I decided I would go only animated. So
all right. So I'm sorry. I should have. A couple of mine are non-animated. So I just want to let you know that. I should have said that when I told you earlier. So I apologize.
No worries whatsoever.
But we're gonna have fun with this. So I will let everybody know, no matter what your real affiliation is for real politics, we're not talking tonight about it. So yes or no, yay or nay, happy or not happy, whatever. But that's not what tonight's about. Tonight's about having some fun with it and to kind of just something, a different take. Steve and I have done this for baseball. We've done it for football, where we've incorporated Disney characters. And tonight we're going to do it for the president, vice president, and our cabinet members.
And we respectfully ask you guys to keep the politics out of the chat as well.
So. Very much so. I mean, this is supposed to be about having fun for sure. Before we get into it, though, Dean over at The Live Place, check him out for mousekeeping. TheLivePlace.com. Dean is a great contributor to this community. Be sure to check him out. And I think tomorrow night, Steve, he's having I'm sorry, I'm wrong. But sometimes Dean will go live with his shows that he does, talking about different channels and creators. When he does that, you should be sure to check him out. Dean over at The Live Place, he's fantastic. Of course, our two partner channels. This guy right here is one of them. Steve's World. Steve goes live on Mondays with Just Another Monday Night. Live on Wednesday was with the Disney crew, and right here on Saturdays, which is fantastic. And of course, Disney Dan. Dan just finished, I think, going live with Disney Fiasco on Saturdays. He goes live with me on Sundays with Disney Movie Review. There's a lot of new folks in here right now. A lot of people that are new to our channel. Be sure to check these two guys out. I promise you will like them. If you like us, you'll like them. Members?
I like you. So.
Yeah. Members, welcome in. Members, as usual, you go this above and beyond. Thank you for being members. We definitely appreciate it, and it means a lot to us. All right, so let's get started on the chat.
And I noticed real quick, you're very close, like less than 60 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And we just hit 500,000 views, 500,000 views.
That's awesome.
Thanks. I appreciate it. We're getting there. We're doing okay. I'm having fun with it. That's what's most important. Melissa and I both. Brian is in first. Brian Eisenhart. Brian's West Coast Disney Adventure now. He's one of our members. Nabjat Holly is here. And Drabata Shun. Two of the newer folks have been coming into our streams lately. Good to see both of you. Rachel's here. What's up, Rachel? Rachel loves Disney. She is here. Let's see who else is in the chat. I know we have some others. Captain Akron's in the house. What's up, Captain Akron? Good to see you. Joshua DeLucas here. Alex, the filmmaker. Barb, Faith, Hope, and Disney, another one of our members. Barb, always good to see you. Katrina Scolpini, welcome in. Good to see you. Molly Rook is here. Jalen Banks is here. Two of the newer folks that have been coming in lately. Good to see you. Rob Fuzz is in the house. What's up, Rob? Good to see you. Another member, Alex Kennett, is here. Alex, good to see you. Shiny Prisma is here. Great to see you. Bob, One Stop Mouse, is here. Another member, Bob, always good to see you. Mai is in the house. Hello, Mary. How are you? It just jumped on me. Let's see here. Mr. Fulton Moraz, another one of our members, is here. Good to see you. And I think Steve Wishes Forever is here. And we're up to date.
Cool.
All right, cool. Well, welcome in everybody again. We're going to have a lot of fun here tonight. It's going to be like just a different take on it. I think we love doing these because we always put our own little spin on it. And very seldom do we have the same. Steve's always good at coming up with some really good ones.
So are you.
And I kind of just make them off the cuff. Sheldon's mom, good to see you as well. Welcome in. All right, Steve. So do we want to do cabinet first and then our president and vice president?
I think
or do
so.
we want to get the big guys out of the way?
I say we start with the cabinet, work our way to the president.
All right, so then here's what we'll do. Jungle Juice, welcome in. One of my favorite names in YouTube. Jungle Juice, I love that name. Good to see you. All right, Steve. So the 10 that we're doing because I gave them up front.
Yep.
We'll kind of keep them quiet for the chat so that they are kind of surprised by them. Karen Cook, welcome in. She says stopping in just to say hello and hit the like button. Meds are making me sleepy. Karen, feel better, and glad surgery went well, and thank you for being here. Sean, Mickey Sightings is here. Avery, the Cuban America, is here. Cuban American or Cuban America. Sam Eagle for president. I got to be honest with you. I forgot all about Sam Eagle. I didn't even think about the Muppets.
I had the Muppets listed, but I decided not to use them.
That was stupid. I should have because that's a great pick. But absolutely. But all right, Steve. So I'll call out the first one, and then we'll work our way up. So, Steve, we're going to start with Secretary of Homeland Security.
Okay.
Who's going to be your Homeland Security?
So this is the agency that focuses in regular times, or in America, on terrorism and national security and the enforcement of just those kind of laws. That it's basically the protector of the country.
Right. And Steve, let me just say this real fast. I'm sorry, everybody. Steve's going to tell us what, for those that don't know, and I'm one of them, what those jobs are. He'll tell exactly what those jobs are, and then let us know in the chat who you would pick for this role too. So I'm sorry, Steve, you were saying?
No. So basically, the Secretary of Homeland Defense, it basically is, or Secretary of Homeland Security, is basically responsible for protecting the country, just things like that. And I went with Hercules. I chose Hercules because he's obviously a strong defender. I think that he has a little bit of a sense of the gods to him, basically. I don't know, divine. He has a sense of divinity to him. And I think that he has some intuitive traits that will allow him to foresee some of the things that are, and that's a great one, Sheldon's mom. Yes. That would be, I didn't put any Marvel characters. I stayed strictly with animated Disney characters. Yeah, but, Hercules would be a great defender and would be a great protector, as I would call it, for the Homeland Security.
That's a great pick, by the way. Jesus, welcome in. Another good name. I know who that is. Welcome in, Jesus. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Some great ones in there. Captain America, Hercules. Pluto for Homeland Security. Brian says, hey, dogs are great protectors. That's a great pick, dude. That's a great pick. So I think for me, mine's going to be a little different. Some Brit sent me over. Carlos says, I don't think you do. Maybe I don't know who it is. But for me, Homeland Security, I'm going with Buzz Lightyear.
Great pick.
Buzz is not only will he protect us on Earth, but he'll protect us from those aliens outside the Earth. I'm going with Buzz Lightyear. He's my protector. He is, he's the sworn enemy. He'll protect the Galactic Alliance, and he's going to protect us as well.
Absolutely.
Buzz Lightyear is my pick.
Oh, that's a fantastic pick. I didn't even think about that one. That would be 100%. If you consider, to a degree, our country, aliens could from another country or another world could defend it. He would be the person to defend against that. So that's a fantastic pick.
I appreciate it. Yeah, but either one of them are really good picks. You can't get wrong with either one of them. Hercules is a fantastic pick. All right. So next one for me, or next secretary, Steve, Secretary of Education.
So basically, the Secretary of Education in the United States is head of the Department of Education here, and they advise the president on educational policies and basically the state of how our education is going, which is extremely important because the more we educate people and young people, they are the future of our country, and they are going to be responsible for what happens in our country. And for me, I went with a great teacher, somebody that I thought was fit to educate a king, and I went with Zazu as my Secretary of Education.
That's a great pick for sure. I mean, he is. That's what he is. He's an educator. He's very intelligent. He understands. Look what he did for Simba. I mean, it's, you know, and he was. I agree 100%. That's a great pick.
Thank you.
I can definitely see that. Kay Atwood, welcome in. Good to see you. Dan Center over. Good to have you here. Thank you, Kay, for being here. I appreciate it. Somebody said, a couple people said Daisy Duck. That's a good pick. I like that pick. Mary Poppins for Secretary of Education. That's an excellent pick.
That is.
That's a really good pick. So for me, Secretary of Education, this is my first non-animated. But then again, maybe it is. I went with Master Yoda.
Oh. Outside of the animated version, that would be the guy. So
I went with Master Yoda. Talk about an educator. Man, he isn't. What a great teacher he is. And he understands the importance of education. He would definitely be able to keep everything in line. He's my pick. I picked Master Yoda. Surf Bum, welcome in.
So Surf Bum. Yeah, there would be no better teacher than Master Yoda for sure.
He would be, I don't know. He would be, I don't know. I think both picks are fantastic. And actually, I'm sure if Yoda was there or Zazu was there, whoever it was would have the other one on their staff.
Oh, sure. 100%. Thank you, Barbara.
Oh, what'd she say? Thanks for being here all. This is a Disney presidential stream at Walt and Steve's request. Please, no political posts. Yes, guys. Again, just to reiterate, we're talking politics, but in a fun Disney way. I mean, we're picking our cabinet members, our presidents, and our vice presidents, but we're having fun with it. Captain Efron said Doc. Doc's a good pick. I like that pick from the Seven Dwarfs.
Yep,
that's a good one for sure. All right, next up, Steve, Secretary of Transportation.
So that's basically what it sounds like. This is they coordinate the policies and the procedures for the national transportation system, basically, like with the laws and the rules and regulations that go with that as well. So my pick for Secretary of Transportation was a little out there. With somebody that has experience with numerous types of vehicles, and I went with Jim Hawkins from Treasure Planet.
That's a good pick.
He not only does he have the whereabouts in the sense of mechanical and inventing stuff like that, but he would be. I think he's traveled enough to know that what works and what doesn't. So I went with Jim Hawkins.
That's a great pick.
Actually, Goofy was my first pick. I had Goofy there because he drives everything and drives it all the wrong way. I thought I'd be funny about it, but I chose not to choose Goofy, and I went with Jim Hawkins instead.
That's a great pick. I didn't even think of that, but that makes sense. I totally understand that pick. I think that's a great pick for sure. Phantasmic Chronicles, welcome in. Car Key Carol, welcome in. Good to see you. Tina is here. T Marie's Place, welcome in to everybody. Tina is another one of our members as well. Good to have you all here. Thanks for being here. Steve, I love that pick. I didn't even think of that, but it makes total sense for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so my pick is literally, we're talking transportation. So who's going to know transportation better than a car?
Oh, good one.
And I'm going with Lightning McQueen.
Very good.
That was my pick. I'm going with Lightning McQueen. He understands how cars work. He understands the capabilities of vehicles and transportation and the importance of it. He understands engines, and all transportation has some sort of engine. I'm going with Lightning McQueen. That was somebody said it in the chat, and so that was my pick, is Lightning McQueen. Stephanie Mayer, welcome in as well. Thanks for being here. So that was my pick.
That's fantastic. I mean, yeah, I actually went through with who would think. I even thought about Gadget from the Rescue Rangers, who always working on mechanical stuff. Right. And I did not even think about the Cars movies. So,
well, you're not. I know, and I hope I can say this. You're not the biggest fan of the Cars movies, right?
I'm not. The first one was okay.
Right.
I liked it. It was good, but they're just okay for me. They're not. But the same thing with The Incredibles. The first one was just okay. not at all worthy, in my opinion, of the best animated picture or Incredibles 2 of all time. But it's just, I don't know. I just didn't care too much for it, I guess.
I'm with you. I feel the same way. I was okay with the first Cars. 2 and 3, I didn't like at all. So
yeah,
for me. Avery says, what about John from Carousel of Progress? Well, I know Steve's going to say no to that. For me, that's not a bad pick, Avery. That's not a bad pick.
He's not progressing fast enough in the time. So,
oh, that is so funny. I knew you were going to say that. He's Brian saying Secretary of Energy. Anyway, there you go. All right, Steve. Secretary, you're probably going to laugh at my pick for this one, but Secretary of Health and Human Services.
So this basically just what it says. They oversee all health-related policies. They advise the president on matters of human condition and concerns, as well as health, welfare, and income security programs within the state or within the country. Basically, they are responsible for the well-being of its citizens, and I could think of nobody better. Huh?
They're also they help with the regulations, or at least talking to the CDC and the Drug Administration, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure so the CDC falls in there. They're really important right now in today's world. So
right,
they're a big position. But I thought of no better caretaker and somebody that cares for somebody else's well-being than Baymax. Baymax is your personal whatever assistant. I think if everybody had their own personal little Baymax, everything would be better. It's not just about keeping you healthier when you're sick. It's about protecting you to keep you from even getting there. So I went with Baymax.
I agree. That's a great pick. I love that pick. I didn't even think of that, but that's fantastic. Stephanie Mayer said Doc McStuffins.
There's a lot of people saying Doc McStuffins. Yeah, that's a great pick.
That's a good one. Baymax. So what is it? What is his saying? Are you happy with your service, or
are you satisfied?
Yeah, are you satisfied with?
He says, "I'm your personal health care something." I can't remember what it is, but it's a great. Yeah, it's great.
Right. He's perfect for the role. Absolutely perfect. I agree 100%. For me, I think I got one more after this. This is my second non-animated.
Mm-hmm.
I went with Captain America for this one.
Yeah.
I think Cap would be really good. I think some people say Homeland Security, Defense. No, I think I want him. This is the older Cap, I think. This isn't the young Cap to me. This is him at the end of Endgame, I think. This is how I'm seeing him. I think he would be perfect in this role. He's very honest. He'll make sure that we're looking out for everybody, including those who can or can't afford health care. Or can't afford, the Food and Drug Administration. He'll make sure they're not overcharging for medications and things like that. I think Captain America is perfect for this role.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, when you think about this role too, you need somebody that basically is going to care about the well-being of other people, and Captain America is fantastic at that. So that's a great pick.
Yeah, for me, this is where I want him. I understand defense and other roles, but this is the one. And again, I'm seeing him as the Endgame Cap, I think, at the end of the movie. So that's why. Jack Abbott, welcome in. Eddie De Leon, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it very much. The child would work. He can heal everyone. Sure. I guess there's truth to that. That's a good point for sure. So that's my pick for Health and Human Services. All right, Steve, you ready?
Yep.
Secretary of Labor.
So the Secretary of Labor is the department that he heads the department that enforces and suggests laws involving unions, workplaces, and basically handles any business to person controversies. He advises the president on the state of basically job employment and unemployment. So, and this is a little out there, so give me a chance to explain. My Secretary of Labor, in overseeing the welfare of U.S. workers in this country, is Hades. And there's a reason why I have that. So Hades, of all places where he rules, knows nothing more than having people work. And maybe not the best of conditions, but he's going to get the best out of his labor workforce or they'll be upset about it. So I'm going to go with
For
Hades.
eternity.
For eternity.
Oh, that is great. That's so funny. That's a good pick for sure. I get where you're going with that one. I totally get it. He definitely understands labor for sure. My pick is a lot different. This is my first lady on the pick for me in my cabinet, and I think she's fantastic for this. I picked Belle.
Oh, yeah.
Because for me, she knows what it's like to live with someone who have people that work for someone who has a hostile attitude. And, Lumiere and Cogworth and all those guys, they weren't working in the greatest atmosphere at first until she got in there and fixed everything. So she knows what it's like to work in a bad workplace and or to be around a bad workplace. So for me, I'm picking Belle.
Oh, Belle's fantastic. Exactly what you just said is the reason why she go into a hostile workplace and make things better working conditions for the people. So, I think it's fantastic.
And somebody said the Seven Dwarfs, they understand work. That's true. That's a good one. Tiana's a great pick. I love Tiana too. Yep, those are all fantastic picks. There are many different characters I think that could fit in a lot of these roles.
Yep.
But and Belle's very educated. She's a reader. Look, I always tell my kids to read. Reading is education. You can learn so much from reading. Boy, can she read. She's easily the most educated person in her town.
Oh, yeah.
By far. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. She's perfect for me, and I love Hades. I love Hades. I think, and the two of them together would be a funny combination.
That was my comic relief pick right there. So the rest of them are okay.
All right, so this one, this next one for me is one where I might have to explain too. Secretary of Agriculture.
So the Secretary of Agriculture is basically they manage national forests and grasslands and things like that, and then they also protect the safety of the food and products sold here in the United States, especially the FDA, all that kind of stuff. In the United States, even the food stamp program and things like that fall into this category. But they're responsible basically for the way we eat and the products that are sold so that we can get there. And I went with somebody. I want somebody that's going to have a knowledge of food. It's going to be very, strict basically with the quality of the food and the quality of the products being sold. And I went with Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh, who has a fantastic love of food, grows his own food, understands how it goes, but it has that aggressive side that nothing's going to meet his standards. And you need that for the safety of the people. So I'm going to go with Rabbit.
I think that's a great pick. Like you said, he grows his own food. He understands agriculture and the importance of it and what needs to be done and how to grow the food correctly. I think it's a great pick for sure. I love that pick. I didn't even think about him, but it makes perfect sense. He lives in the ground. That's what he does. That's where he's from. He totally understands it. Everything he eats is from agriculture. It's from the ground. It's from the land. I think that's a great pick. Avery says agriculture. This is easy. The living with the land narrator.
That's perfect. That is perfect.
That's a good one. Kloppen would be the perfect Homeland Security. I don't know who that is. Who's Kloppen?
He's the villain in what movie is that? Or no, he's not the villain. He's the jester guy in
Hunchback?
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name of it.
Hunchback. Okay.
He's the guy that sings the main song at the beginning.
Yeah, Topsy Turvy.
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. Jack Abbott says Pocahontas or Remy. Good picks. There's some good ones.
Remy's a great one, yeah.
Yep. Moana. Somebody said Moana. Those are awesome. That's a great pick, Steve, by the way, and it makes perfect sense. So for me, I went with someone who is the picture of perfect health, who eats healthy, is always healthy. He was a farmer. He wasn't supposed to be a farmer. He was supposed to be a god, but he was a farmer. I went with Hercules. I think you want someone who looks the part. I think you want someone who eats healthy exercises, does the right things, understands the importance of healthy eating, understands how it needs to be grown, will really take care of it. If I'm not mistaken, he was a farmer when he was brought down to earth with his mom and dad, or something like that. Hercules is my pick. So that one's a little bit maybe of a stretch, but I think this is a perfect role for Hercules.
Oh yeah, he obviously eats well, and he takes care of himself, and that's a fantastic pick. Yeah, he would definitely look out for the health of other people too. So he's caring, and I think it's a great pick.
Cool, awesome. All right, guys, we're getting near the top. This is really going good. We still got a half an hour to go. We might have to slow down. No, I'm just kidding. All right, the Secretary of the Interior.
So the Secretary of the Interior protects America's natural resources and heritage. It honors the cultures and tribal communities and supplies energy power to our future. Basically, they protect the natural resources and beauty of the country, basically. And I kind of went with a different approach on this one a little bit too, but I went with something. So basically, if anybody that knows the natural resources and heritage of the world knows that they are something of beauty. So I went with somebody who has their own eye of beauty, as well as being somebody inventive, and I went with Edna Mode from The Incredibles. So
that's a good pick.
She's the I think she has an eye for beauty because of her own sense, anyways, and she knows how to get the best out of things to be able to make suits and other stuff for The Incredibles. So I went with Edna Mode.
Gotcha. Welcome in, Melissa Mouse Talk. First time here. Good to see you. And also England, Portugal, welcome in. And Sabin Francis, welcome in. Good to see you all. Thanks for being here. Steve, one more time. What is the Homeland? What does this person do again for the Interior?
They protect America's natural resources and heritage, and then they also honor the cultures and tribal communities and supplies energy to power the future.
Gotcha. Welcome in Mike Klemovich as well. For me, I just wanted to say that again so everybody understands my pick. Pocahontas was my pick.
That's a great one.
Pocahontas was my pick. Perfect for the. She's definitely going to make sure she takes care of her country, the natural resources in that country, the tribal communities, everything. She's just perfect for the role. She understands the country, the resources behind it, how important it is that we preserve it. She can also be, and she was, a person who could communicate with other countries and things like that as well, if needed for trade. I'm going with Pocahontas. That was my pick.
Oh, it's a great one. She's going to be most in tune to nature as well. So,
right,
100%.
Yep. We're talking. Let's see here. 70 says the Mad Hatter. I just think he would take anybody down and is a mindful king. That's a good one for sure. Moana would be a close second there. Alex Kennett says. There you go. Good one. All right, Steve. Secretary of Defense.
This is the president's advisor on military and international security policies. So that they just basically are responsible for the defense of the country. And I went with somebody that I thought could be a general. Again, I only went with animated characters, and I don't like Mulan, so I went with a different group. Mulan's okay; it's not the greatest. Anyways, I went with Robin Hood. I thought Robin Hood would be a great leader. I think people respect him as a general. And I thought he would be a great advisor to especially defend when you're outmanned. And I think he would be fantastic.
I agree.
He robs from the rich and gives to the poor, so he cares about the people.
Amen to that. Yes, he does. And he's very good. He's very good at strategy. He's extremely cunning and smart. He understands. I mean, here's a guy that had nothing and could, took out the sheriff of Nottingham and the king, outwitted them. I think that's a great pick. For sure, and puts the people first all the time. What's best for the people, but still in a way that's going to have to be defendable when push comes to shove. I agree 100% on that pick. That's a great pick.
Thank you.
A couple of people said in the chat, this is some good ones. Somebody said John Smith, which I totally understand. Somebody said Perry the Platypus. That's a great pick, by the way. I love Phineas and Ferb. Perry's he's a secret agent. He's awesome. Princess Leia. Somebody said Princess Leia. That's a good one. Jack Abbott said, this is sort of a weird pick, but I actually have 5 characters in mind. That's a good one. The emotions from Inside Out. That's a good one. Obi-Wan Kenobi, somebody said as well. That's a good one. All right, Steve. And Alex said the commander from Atlantis. All right, so this is my last real character. I think you know where I'm going with this one. Who better for national defense than Tony Stark?
Works great.
That's what he did for a living. Yep. It's got to be Tony Stark. I mean, he's just...
Well, he's a national defense contractor, wasn't he, in the movies?
Exactly. And I know you would have picked him if you had known that it was going to be non-Disney involved. I know he would have been your pick. But
I could have done that anyways, but I still wanted to make sure I stayed within animated for some reason. I don't know why. But because I thought about Star Wars, I thought about Marvel, I thought about Muppets. I just chose not to use any of them. But yeah, no, that's a obvious, fantastic pick right there.
Yeah, he's the guy for this one. Sheldon's mom said Sheriff Woody. I love it, actually. Perfect. I have no problem with that pick at all. He's my favorite. That's a great pick. Somebody else said one. Oh man, I can't remember now, but oh no, I'm sorry. I just want to say hi to Disney Boffins who popped in. That's who it was. I'm sorry. Welcome in, Disney Boffins. Good to have you here. But yeah, Tony Stark for me, that was my last one. Buzz Lightyear's a good one too. Mm-hmm. Buzz is a good one. I had him for Homeland Security, but that's a good pick for sure. Somebody said Sam the Eagle.
Yeah. Nobody cares about the country more than Sam the Eagle.
Amen to that. Hey, you never know. Obi-Wan Kenobi, somebody said Yoda are animated, but they are in Clone Wars. That's true. They are animated. Hercules for defense, Brian picked. That's a good one. All right, Steve. Secretary of the Treasury. I think we're both going to get this one.
I tried to change it. I couldn't try to change it. But so this person's in charge of the administration's financial and economic policies. And I went with, and you may not have gone this way. I don't know. I went with Scrooge McDuck. And the reason why I went with Scrooge McDuck is because not only does he have a lot of money, but he's going to be very stringent on giving that money away. So they're going to advise the president on what he can spend money on, what he can't spend money on. And rather than let him blow it on whatever he wants, they're going to be keeping the line because that's a person that knows how to make money and how to save money. And I think Scrooge McDuck is where the obvious choice would be.
It is the obvious because that was mine too.
I tried to take somebody else, but the characteristics with him fit so well.
It's too perfect. And you kid, who better with money than Scrooge McDuck? The guy knows how to save money. Yeah, trust me. He is not somebody that's going to needlessly spend money like some countries we know.
Yep.
There won't be waste with this guy for sure. Somebody said Kermit because he's green and trustworthy. Green like money. That's funny. That's a good one for sure. But yeah, that was my pick too. I picked Scrooge McDuck for sure. Somebody said Jabba the Hutt. That's Serp on why Jabba the Hutt. I gotta know what made you come up with him. Tina Burke, by the way, I'm sorry to hear about I think it was your aunt who passed away. I think she said, I'm sorry to hear that. Her aunt passed away. Prayers to you, Tina. Hopefully you'll be okay. Kermit is a great pick. Kermit's awesome. He would know. Well. Let's see here. Hold on one second, everybody. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you coming in tonight. So thank you, Mods. Stay on your game for me, Mods. Appreciate it. All right, Steve, where are we? We're at the Secretary of Treasury. All right. Last 3 big ones right here. Super Disney family, welcome in to Nick and Shayna. Good to see you guys. Secretary of State.
So the Secretary of State is basically the main cabinet position behind the president, vice president. This is the president's main advisor, and he advises the president on foreign policy issues. And they negotiate treaties and represents the United States to all nations, basically. So he is the face of the country to the world. And basically, he guides the country. I was going to use Kermit here, and I decided that I wasn't going to use the Muppets. Instead, I went with something that you might have picked because I know your love of this character.
Yeah, I did.
I went with Jiminy Cricket because he is going to put he's going to be on the shoulder of the president, guiding him to all affairs. So
let your conscience be your guide. I agree. That was who I picked too. I picked Jiminy Cricket. Who better than the guy, your conscience, the guy that's going to steer you the right way to help you make all the big decisions for the country? It's got to be Jiminy Cricket. I agree, Steve, 100%. He's the pick here. That was my pick. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I think it's obvious he's the perfect role for this. I almost picked him as my vice president, Steve.
Nice.
I did. I really did almost pick him as vice president. But I was steadfast on who my president was. But I kind of flipped on this. Who was going to be my Secretary of State is my vice president. I flipped him.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm with you. All right. You ready? Vice president of the vice president. Who's your vice president?
So the vice president originally when the vice president came around, they were only in charge of basically the Senate. That was the only job of their vice president. Now the vice president has emerged into a right-hand man for the president. Obviously, they're involved in more because if something happens to the president, they become president. They help shape foreign policies. They help do all kinds of stuff now. I went with somebody that's got to be very charismatic. You've got to be somebody that basically can not only help guide the president, but have the street sense about them and understand how the world works. So when the president does have some issues or whatever, he can lead them back on the straight and narrow or use his own life experiences. And I went with probably my favorite character. I went with Flynn Rider here. So I think Flynn is very good on his feet. He's very charismatic. He kind of has that political side to him where he can kind of work his way out of different ordeals. And I think that Flynn would be an amazing vice president.
That's a great pick. I didn't even think of that, but it makes sense. Everything you said, how he'll advise the president, it's perfect. I agree 100%. I totally see it in every way, shape. I think I know who your president is going to be, but if something were to happen to the president and he had to step in, I don't think we'd even skip a beat. I think that's a great pick for sure. Joy, yes, welcome in. Joy, another one of our members. Joy, good to have you here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it, and it's good to have you. All right, so my vice president is someone who, if they did become president, I would be just fine with it. I think they could lead. They'd be fantastic. They, like you said, they understand. They have knowledge. They have education. They have a sense of understanding the real world. They've lived it, but they're also a good leader. And I think everybody's going to be surprised with this, but my vice president is Mickey Mouse. He is my vice president.
I would have assumed you would have picked him as your president.
No, I have really thought about it. When we get to my president, I'll tell you why. Yep. But obviously, but yeah, my vice president is Mickey Mouse. So that if anything did happen to my president, if he did step in, totally fine with it. Doesn't skip a beat.
Nope.
He's going to be fantastic. So
and he's hardworking. He's cool, calm, and collected under pressure, and he's a great. He is fantastic as a voice of reason too for the president.
Absolutely, 100%. And he's a great representative of the country for goodwill, ambassadors, and things like that vice presidents do.
Yep.
So it makes sense. I think he's just fantastic. Emily Ellis, you mom, welcome in. Good to see you as well. So my pick is Mickey. That's my vice president.
Fantastic.
Yep. All right, Steve.
Thanks, Ellis, you mom.
Emily, good to have you here. All right, Steve. It's time for the big guy, the guy that's going to be the most important person in the world.
Obviously, the president is the leader of the free world. And basically, you might have gone this way. I actually thought Mickey was getting the way you were going to go, but I didn't think that who better to be president than the king of all the light touches. That is Mufasa.
That's my pick.
So Mufasa, it could have been Simba, but Simba would have been like that whole vice president issue with leading to learn everything. But Mufasa was very well respected. put himself or put others above himself. That's just the way he thought. And again, the entire world was his kingdom. Now, I'm not saying the entire world is the United States kingdom by any means, but he's a leader of the free world, and Mufasa was the leader of his free world. I think Mufasa is just a perfect fit.
Incredible leader, incredible father, incredible admiral, general, whatever you want to call him. Can be sensitive and understanding when he has to be. Can be straightforward and tough when he has to be. Commands a room, commands his presence, is well respected. That was my pick too, Steve, was Mufasa. I think Mufasa would be a fantastic, fantastic president. Loves his kingdom, understands the circle of life, that just as fast as he can have it, he can lose it. He knows where he's from. I agree. That's my pick.
Yep. Oh, he's fantastic. I mean, and he's just, I mean, anybody that has either James Earl Jones or Morgan Freeman's voice gets president for me.
Oh, that's so funny. You know, it's funny. Morgan Freeman played the president in one of the movies. I can't remember which one it was, but I don't think James Earl Jones ever played president, did he?
I don't think so.
I don't think he ever has.
Morgan Freeman has, but
yeah, Morgan Freeman has for sure. But yeah, I don't think he has either.
I mean, James Earl Jones is a king. Morgan Freeman's a president. So
that's true.
They're both leaders in their own right.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the same pick. That was my pick. It's got to be Mufasa. I just couldn't. I mean, everybody always votes for Mickey Mouse in the real presidential election. He'll get votes for real. So I said ping pong. That's funny. In Coming to America, that's true. He was king in Coming to America too, with James Earl Jones. I love it. I agree, Steve. Great minds think alike, man. We had Jiminy Cricket. We had Mufasa. We had Scrooge McDuck. We had some of the same ones for sure.
The last four were the same. So
yeah, exactly. The real big ones. We totally got it. We did. And in the chat, great picks, by the way. Some of you, all of you, had some really great picks for sure. I love it. And this is fun. Steve and I do this a lot. We've done it several times where we've done it usually with sports. We did it with make up our own baseball team or our own football team. This is the first time we actually delve into to this side of things. But we'll do more like this with different topics. They're always a lot of fun. Thank you, Barb. I appreciate that. They're just, I don't know. I enjoy these. Don't you, Steve?
No, they're fantastic. That's one of my favorite things we do.
Yeah, I like it too. I really do. Well, we've still got 17 minutes, so we're not done yet. So I did want to touch on a couple things, Steve. Talking about Disney.
Real quick before you do that, several people are putting in here, and Melissa just confirmed Mickey Mouse gets several votes during the real election every year, I guess.
Yeah, he does.
I didn't know that. So who in the world would vote for Mickey Mouse?
For somebody that doesn't want the other two, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep. That's just the way it does happen like that for sure. Let's see here. What else did I want to do? Okay, Steve. So Friday yesterday, I'm sure you know, and I'm sure everybody else in here, because I think a lot of you were in the stream. Christmas is starting now at Walt Disney World.
Yesterday was the first day of the official season, right?
Yesterday was the first official day. It was fantastic. I was there all day from park opening to park close. Stayed the whole time. I got to say this, Steve. Well, first off, Steve, have you ever been there for Christmas?
No. I was there. I got there let's say December 30th one year and stayed for the New Year's celebration in 2000, the Millennium Celebration. And I got to see the Osborne family lights right before they got taken down. And but that's the only Christmas thing I've seen. The trees were still up in January when I went this year, but that's it.
Okay. All right, but I think you're gonna see it possibly this year. You might get down here, right? Maybe.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Well, let me tell you. So we're there yesterday. I was there for an early morning stream and then an evening stream. During the day, they had the cavalcades, which are great. They have the new merchandise. They have the new food offerings, which Melissa and I will be touching on in some videos coming up. I got to admit, Steve, cavalcades are great. It's really just different sections of the normal Christmas time parade just broken up. But there's something about that park at Christmas time when the sun goes down. I'm telling you right now, the feeling in that park last night was palpable. I couldn't believe the atmosphere when the sun went down and those lights kicked on. I felt like I was at this, and it was just a regular park day. But Steve, remember how I said before how I want these events to feel really special?
Yep.
Yesterday felt special.
Yep.
I don't know what it was.
Well, I saw there was a few things when the lights went down this week. They had it on earlier in the week. Yesterday was the first official day, but they started putting up the decorations, I think, the day after Halloween, whatever it was. And you can click through there and see pictures and videos of the lights when they go down. When the sun goes out and the lights come up, basically, I mean, it turns to gorgeous. And I made several comments across the board that said, I miss Disney at night. I really do. We haven't seen it since it got closed, basically.
Right.
They're not open late anymore. And now that the Eastern time has gone back to not to daylight savings time, and now that the parks are starting to stay open a little bit later, we get to see that Disney at night. Even if there's no fireworks, even if there's no Christmas lights, just being able to see the lights of Disney itself and look over and see the Contemporary lit up with the reflections off the pond or the lake, and just seeing those kind of things, absolutely gorgeous. And I really, really missed it.
Yeah. Oh, it's the truth. It's the truth. And then when you take and put the Christmas on top of it, it's just I can't wait for you to get down here to see it. You're gonna fall in love with it all over again. It was just absolutely amazing. Melissa said it too. I mean, she said, and it was true. She was only there for 2 hours last night because she had to work, and she said it was well worth it just for the 2 hours that we were in the park. It was awesome. And I just wish, not that I think it'll ever happen, but I really wish they would decorate the entire park, not just Main Street.
That would be nice.
Yeah. I don't think they will, but I would really wish that they did.
So they do the jingle cruise. They do that. They could easily do the Christmas overlay on Space Mountain because they already do that in Disneyland. They could do a lot of different themed overlays easily throughout they change all the decorations in one night. They can easily change the overlays, especially since they already have the technology to do it. So I would like a little bit more inclusive decorations and holiday spirit throughout the park.
Yeah, I want more lights and garland and wreaths all around the park. The overlays too. I agree. I want the overlays. Like Big Thunder Mountain, I want to see that. Put some garland or something on there. You could decorate it. I know you can. They could do it like all down Frontierland. There's all kinds of poles and stuff. All that should be decorated.
Yep.
Fantasyland? How do you not decorate Fantasyland?
Yeah. And the one thing I really miss is the castle, the castle lights.
Yes.
And supposedly they're going to be, and you might have seen this last night, they're going to be taking some of the projection shows. They're supposed to be obviously sending projections of random pictures like sweaters and gingerbread houses and things like that off the castle. But those lights were one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen when they decorate that castle with all white lights and it lights up at night. It was incredible. But I kind of wish we had the lights this year, but I understand why. I think that one's a cost of efficiency issue. The projections I understand are to crowd control, but they're testing cut up portions of the projection shows, like little 1 or 2 minute things, because then they'll pop them up and then people will be on their way and they don't have time to gather. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, let me tell you what they did last night on the projection. They had, and Melissa's in the chat. She was there. There were no shows on the castle. It was just projections. And I posted a video today, and if anybody wants to see what those projections are, go check out my latest video. There were 3 different castle projections that they put up there. They're beautiful, but they don't do really much of anything there. They're just projections there. But there still were, Steve, it felt like a fireworks show because there was a ton of people in the hub last night, and you'll see it in that video. It was really nice. It was beautiful, the 3 different projections that they had. But they didn't stop them, Steve. They just stayed on one projection for 15 minutes, and then every 15 minutes it changed to the other one. That
So
was
it's
it.
like a background screensaver on your computer that just rotates and changes through.
That's it. Yes, that's. I don't know if that's going to change. And Melissa, correct me if I'm wrong, but we were both there last night, and that's all it ever did. But after a while, yeah, I mean, after you've seen it a few times, we were like, "Oh, this is beautiful," and then you'd watch it a little bit, and then you moved on. People did move on, but it wasn't like a show. Yeah, it was continuous. There were four. I'm sorry. There's four of them, not three of them. So, but they're beautiful. You're gonna love them.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to get down there.
Yeah, and the music was fantastic.
I should be there twice while the holiday stuff is still going on.
Yep. Kay said she thinks the Christmas cavalcades are longer than the Halloween cavalcades. They are. I have a video coming out with the cavalcades as well. I filmed all the cavalcades. They are a little bit longer. I agree. But there's certain things about the cavalcades that are really cool and unique. Again, as much as I like the cavalcades during the day, they did have them for a little while once the sun went down, for like the first half an hour after the sun went down. They were even better at night.
Yeah.
That's just me, but that's what I thought. Alex says the projections were awesome. I've never seen that before without a show on and only on videos. I hope they do that next October when I'll be there. They might. You never know. But yeah, it wasn't a show. It was just strictly projections on the castle, and I think that's because, like you said, Steve, they didn't have any lights up there, but they wanted the castle to be the focus, and it definitely still was.
Well, and they always did a I can't remember if the Christmas one was like Prep and Landing. I think maybe were they involved in a projection show?
Well, yeah, over at Hollywood Studios.
Well, that was at Hollywood Studios. So I know they do the Halloween version. They do the Mickey and Goofy and Donald through the ghosts in there. They do Nightmare Before Christmas on there all the time. They do the whole show right on the castle. So they have that capability to do a show. I just know they don't want people gathering. So I wish they would do they could come up with like 30-second spots, like Mickey Mouse and whatever coming up there and wishing everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And then he's gone and you don't have to work, and then nobody's going to stand around, and let it go every half hour. So, they could do a few different things up there.
Oh, yeah, they certainly could. And they may add to it. They may definitely do that. I will say I really hope that they do bring the cavalcades back at night. I think there's just something about it at night. Mike's Adventures, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I don't know. They were pretty cool. And Faith, Hope, and Dizzy Barb said the cavalcades felt like more like mini parades. They were, Steve. They're a little bit more in depth than we had for the Halloween parades. Like the Halloween, you had just the one for the Nightmare Before Christmas, and then off they went.
Yep.
Same thing with the villains. You had a couple villains walking, and then just the one main villain. This is different. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I have to go back and watch my own video, but each cavalcade had at least 2 floats.
Wow.
Except the one with Santa Claus. Santa Claus had 1, but the one with Goofy had 2 floats. The one with the princesses had 2 floats. Then you had the Philharmonic with the toy soldiers. That's kind of like 2. And then Santa Claus. And Santa Claus was the only one it was only Santa Claus, but he had front and back people with him. So it was neat. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him. It's going to be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kay said, I think people would stand around the castle waiting to see the characters. They probably would. They probably would. Yeah, Prepping Landings over at Hollywood Studios. And that is a good projection show. 91J, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yes, Melissa's correct. The one thing about the parade I will say, Steve, other than the Philharmonic, because the Philharmonic march with the toy soldiers, which is really neat.
Yeah.
You get to hear the band with the toy soldiers. But the parade itself is pretty much the same music for all 3 of the cavalcades. Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I mean, it'd be nice to have a little bit of difference so you kind of tell who's coming or what, that kind of thing. But I'm okay with that. I love the fact that they're doing the toy soldiers. I'm guessing the Dapper Dans will be doing just like they did for the Cadaver Dans at Halloween. They'll be doing something for them and singing carols. And I think it's going to be, look, they're giving us everything they can give us. Yeah. But still promote social distance.
I agree. No, Dapper Dans are there. They also have on the trolley, you have Eeyore, Piglet, and Rabbit that come out in their holiday attire as well. Also over at the Crystal Palace, Steve, from time to time, those same 3 characters, Piglet, Eeyore, and Rabbit, will come out as a meet and greet and wave to you, socially distanced.
Yeah.
They are coming out. They were out yesterday as well. So it's been it's really nice right now. Yesterday, and I'm sure it's going to feel that way for a while, if not the whole season, felt very magical for sure.
Good.
Yeah, it was awesome for sure. Well, there we go. Well, folks, we are coming up on the 9 o'clock hour. Steve, is Shep going live tonight?
Yes.
He is. 9:30?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Well, let's kind of do some quick mousekeeping so we can wrap up here so we can make sure everybody head on over. Head on over to the Shep family. If one of my mods could put his link in the chat, he will be going live at 9:30. It's always a fun show. I'm sure Steve will be there and some other guests talking, I think, Christmas in some capacity, right?
He doesn't ever have a topic. Every one of his thumbnails is just kind of like, hey, come join us for whatever. And it's a chat is all it is. So it's a good chat. It's a good chat, but never a topic.
It'll be entertaining for sure. But so check him out at 9:30. Tomorrow, guys, let me do some quick mousekeeping for well, actually, I'll get to me in a minute. Steve, what's coming up on your channel?
Stuff. I do have. I'm working really hard on a vlog, very, very hard, which I'm almost done with. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, and I've been working on it for over 3 weeks now. So I'm really excited to put it out, but it's a lot of work and effort going into it. And then it should be done by next week. I'm hoping by next week. And then Monday, I'm doing Getting to Know You with Cody from Strive to Do Better.
Nice.
I have him on there. He's a positive, inspirational fitness guy. So we'll have him on.
That'll be awesome for sure. On my end, we tomorrow are live from Animal Kingdom, bright and early, for our Sunday morning walk in the park. That's going to be a lot of fun. Check us out with that. We are getting closer and closer to 5,000 subscribers. We're about 50 away, a little over 50 away. Really excited about that. So thank you, everybody. We just hit 500,000 views. It's been an incredible last few months. Thank you to everybody for the support. It's been fantastic. I did just post a brand new video today. I request and hope that you go watch it. It is all the new Christmas offerings. I put it out yesterday. Got a whole new intro in there specific to Christmas, all kinds of fun stuff. So check it out and let me know in the comments what you think of the video, good or bad. I want to hear from you. But I think you guys will like it. As for that, I do have another video with all the Christmas cavalcades coming out tomorrow. Also tomorrow, I'll be on with Dan. I got a lot going on, Steve. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
And tomorrow night with Dan on this channel and a special guest, we will be reviewing Revenge of the Sith. Nice. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith for our Disney movie review. And then, of course, next weekend we will be going live from the parks as well, but I'm not going to tell you where just yet. But other than that, thank you over to Dean over at The Live Place. Dean is always fantastic. You all know who he is. If you don't, go check him out, The Live Place. He is your TV guide for live streamers. Thank you to all of our members. Membership is growing incredibly. I don't even know what to say. You're just all fantastic and wonderful. Thank you to all of our members for going that extra step. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your loyalty. There's Richard R. Johns, the legend. Saw him last night at Magic Kingdom. Got to hang out for a little while. It was nice seeing you last night too, Richard. Always good to see you and Donna and everybody. And now I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Richard. But membership, thank you to all of our members. You guys are fantastic. And then other than that, guys, just thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Mods, thank you for all you do. Mods are always fantastic. Love my mods. They are on their game. But guys, until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. And we'll talk to you all really, really soon. Bye, everybody.